Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and I'm sorry that this is just a touch on the late side for the video this week. I had to work on Wednesday, and yesterday I had to work all day. And sorry about the outfit right now. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little bit rough right now. And that's kind of, I'm going to explain that all that is it's a little personal, so I'm not really interested in discussing why. But it's, yeah, let's move on to today's video, which we're going to be talking all about Virginia. We've got the election in a few weeks here. I will be live streaming the results as they come in. And giving y'all my thoughts and opinions as that happens. I'll probably be bringing the cat into my studio, so that way he's not completely alone. And if it becomes too much of a problem, he'll be outside. Yeah, if you like the content, likes, comments, subscriptions, they always do help, and I greatly appreciate them. Likes and comments, of course, help the algorithm like me, and subscriptions help this channel grow, so I greatly appreciate all of that. So first, the Virginia Redistricting Commission has actually published a few maps, though I don't think they're going to find too much of a compromise. Now, this was the map drawn by the Republicans' consultants. And as expected, it makes a lot of Republican-leaning districts, but it also cleans things up tremendously. I will say that much. And you've got 5 Democratic districts, safe Democratic districts, if we're perfectly honest. And 3 safe Republican districts with 3 that are reasonably competitive. Though 2 of them, I would argue, not entirely. The current map, as it sits, has 2 safe Republican districts and 3 that are competitive but Republican-leaning that kind of split up some of the exurbs of Northern Virginia, as well as a few... as well as 1 competitive district, 1 district that used to be pretty safely Republican is now almost the other way around, and then some Northern Virginia districts that are pretty safe, as well as some safe Democratic districts. And this is, I will say, this map, as well as the other 2 that I'm going to look at, they're geographically very neat. And kind of what I would have done. The second stays mostly Eastern Shore and the Tidewater area. You have 1 in the Norfolk area. You have 2 South Side districts, one of which includes Richmond, as well as some of the Norfolk suburbs. Then you have the 5th, which is the other side of South Side. Then you have, it's weird, but you got 2 mountain districts, the 6th and the 9th. I'd remain in the 9th. 9th gets Roanoke as well from the, I want to say it's a 6, yeah. And the 6 mostly goes with these highlands up here, and then the southern parts of the Shenandoah. The 7th moves from this kind of no man's land district to being the Shenandoah and the DC exurbs. And then you have the 3 Northern Virginia suburbs. This is... Which one is this one? This is... I want to say the A4? Yeah, okay. And then both the B4... And this was the Democratic drawn one, which does basically the same things. But it also keeps it very geographically neat. And again, it puts Roanoke in the 9th. And like I said, it basically is, I think all of these maps are very good. And the C1, this might be a compromise plan or something. But again, it does kind of what I would have done. And they keep things relatively the same. The only difference really is how competitive the second congressional district is. But overall, I'm not going to complain about any of these maps. I think they're geographically very neat, and they all preserve, communities of interest. And I think that's a very important thing. I think all the maps are very good. Now, as for the gubernatorial election, it's heating up. Now, yesterday, and I've got the information on my phone, the big news was that, on Wednesday, I posted up a poll asking who y'all thought would win the gubernatorial election here in Virginia. And the results are kind of a little bit shocking. Of the 68 people who responded, 53% thought Glenn Youngkin would win, and 47% thought that Terry McAuliffe would win. It's pretty shocking to me, but it is. Those were the results. Now, of the people who commented, most are expecting this to be a competitive election, with McAuliffe winning by, the people who actually commented what they thought the margins would be. They thought McAuliffe would win by, the lowest was 1%, which I think might be a bit, well, if McAuliffe is only winning by 1%, that's bad news for the Democrats moving forward. Obviously, if he loses, that's bad news. But 3 to 6 seemed a decent range by most people's measure. And I'm going to say this much. If McAuliffe wins by 3 to 6%, that's not a good year for the Democrats. Yes, they hold a governor's mansion, and they keep Virginia in the blue column, but this is a state where the Democrats should probably be winning by 7 to 10%. Northam won by 9%. Biden won by 10%. I forget how much Mark Warner won by, but it was also not the most competitive election either. So if McAuliffe wins by 3 to 5%, or 3 to 6%, 6% would be, it's a little bit of a down year. 3%, that would signal that the Republicans definitely do have the momentum going forward. Now, I don't want to read too much into one election being predictive, but it would seem to indicate that the Republicans are gaining ground off of last year's results. And if that's followed up by New Jersey's election showing a similar thing, as well as the average of the other special elections that we've had this cycle in, reasonably competitive seats, we could probably conclude that the Republicans are the ones who are looking good advancing into the midterms. That's not to say that it is impossible for the Democrats to do well in the midterms in 2022. But the Senate map is not the most favorable to the Democrats. It's not entirely favorable to Republicans either, just to, be perfectly clear. But the House map probably is not going to be super favorable to the Democrats either, especially with redistricting going the way it is. For example, in Texas, we move over there. As long as the page loads, move over to Texas, and the map they're going to publish really makes it hard for the Democrats to gain ground there, and very likely that the Republicans are going to gain a seat or two there as well. And yes, the Democrats are going to have ground to make up in New York, and apparently Illinois also has a new published map, and I'll take a peek at that when I get a chance. But it seems like finally some states are starting to, a lot of states are starting to publish proposed maps, and I'm very happy about that, to see that we're moving. But as of right now, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Take it easy, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a very nice day, and I'll see you all around next time, okay? Bye-bye.